Good morning.
Good morning.
Welcome to Unity Orlando. Our opening statement this morning is, all things I am, can do, and be through Christ, the truth that is in me. Let's all affirm that together. All things I am, can do, and be through Christ, the truth that is in me. All right, let's all close our eyes, take a nice deep breath in. Let's affirm that together in the silence. And so it is. Now, if you'd like to join us, please stand for our joy song. It's a chant. It's called Let It Come. Or Let It Go. We're having some confusion over the name. What comes, let it come. Let's go, let it stay. What goes, let it go. Let it go. What comes, let it come. What stays, let it stay. What goes, let it go. Let it go. What comes, let it come. What stays, let it stay. What goes, let it go. Let it go. What comes, let it come. What stays, let it stay. What goes, let it go. Let it go. Let it come. What stays, let it stay. What goes, let it go. Let it go. Let it go. Very nice. You may be seated.
Good morning. Good morning, Unity Orlando. How is everybody today? I'm Susan Francis. I'm your platform speaker today. Do we have any visitors for the first time? Welcome. We have a welcome packet for you. Our usher will be giving you one. Thank you, Brian. Welcome. I'm glad you're spending this morning with us. Let's see. So today's lesson notes, for those of you at home, we welcome you, and you can find them on our website. And also for those who've come in on the bulletin, there's notes there. The food drive, just to let you know, is continuing. So if anybody needs food, please let the church know. And if you would like to donate food, you can bring it in on Sunday morning or Tuesdays from 10 to 3 o'clock. Also, you can contact Curtis Coaxum. He's the one who's coordinating. You can find his information on our website. He can come and pick it up for you or bring you food. Also wanted to let you know that the Course in Miracles ongoing class on Zoom at 7 p.m. is this Wednesday. Everyone is welcome, even if you haven't taken or done anything before. You can certainly join. You'd need to let Reverend Ronnie know, so you'll have to email her, which you can find her email on the website as well, and then she'll send you a link. And on the back of our bulletins in person, her email's there. Also, Orange County requires us to wear masks here in person, so please remember to do that. I see everybody's wearing their masks. Thank you for that. And so today, Reverend Bob's lesson is Unstoppable. So before we do that, I'm going to turn it back over to Brian for our next song.
All right, thank you, Susan. And this song is called All the Good Goes On and On. I wrote it last summer. It's kind of a summer song to me now. So here we go. I'm singing, I hear a melody here within me. I feel an energy, yeah, and all the good goes on and on and on. Vibration all around me, light within me, working through me. When I call on you, you bring me to the light. When I'm working, you're watching over me. When I'm writing, you write the words for me, yeah. And all the good goes on and on and on. Vibration all around me, light within me, working through me. When I call on you, you bring me to the light. When I feel I'm going under, when I hear those claps of thunder, when my doubts lead me to wonder, I just call on you, and I feel your hand set me on the path of splendor. When you come through me, I feel your guiding light. All the good through me, making me feel alright. And all the good goes on and on. Vibration all around me, light within me, working through me. When I call on you, you bring me to the light, and all the good goes on and on and on. Vibration all around me, light within me, working through me. When I call on you, you bring me to the light. All around me, light within me, working through me. When I call on you, you bring me to the light. When I call on you, you bring me to the light. When I call on you, you bring me to the light.
Well, that was beautiful. That was wonderful. I felt like I was where, in Jamaica or somewhere? Maybe I didn't get that right. How is everyone today? You good? Feeling really good? You feeling unstoppable? I hope so. Yeah, I had to give that up this week. Anyway, that is the title of the talk, Unstoppable. You know, you have these times when everything's going right. You feel, I'm unstoppable. Things are working. This is great. Nothing can get in my way. And then, generally, life comes along and knocks the tar out of you. And you go, oh, well, now you get to experience the other side of it. Well, after my allergy season, I often start feeling unstoppable. And I was kind of going through just a little bit of that. And I thought, you know, this is a good thing for us to capture and to hang on to, this feeling of being unstoppable. So I was playing that around as a title. And I said, okay, the next time I get an opening, that's what I'll plug in, because I've chosen titles up through at least into the 1st of June. And then now, while I was thinking this over, I thought, Bob, you need to be very careful. Because, Spirit always teaches you about your subject the week before. I dread doing healing talks. I'm kidding. A little bit. So I thought, okay, but still, I think it's a worthy topic. We need to talk about this feeling of being unstoppable. So, Ronnie, then Reverend Ronnie, injured herself in a biking accident. Not an accident, but she injured herself while biking. And she got told, you lay low for a few weeks. I mean, really, you don't do anything. You don't get up here and talk. And I said, oh, okay. She was supposed to be up this week. So I had an opening. And I said, what will I speak on? And I go, that subject has been popping around in there. Now, I should have thought this slot opened up because Ronnie, who is normally unstoppable, got stopped. But I took it on anyway. So then I went out and I planted a 15-foot oak tree in a spot where another oak tree had been, or off to the side a little bit, which means instead of a half hour to dig the hole, it took 6 hours of chopping through roots to try to get, they're dead roots, but they're roots nonetheless. But I was so proud of myself. I'm unstoppable. I can still do what I used to do, and there's no problem at all. And the next day, I went around and I even did a little more work. And I said, oh, see? I didn't have to pay for it. And so it wasn't until Saturday, when I spent all day over my computer, that did me in. So here I am Saturday night before I'm to give the talk. No, I've written it all day. But here I am, and I figure out that I'm really stoppable. I had started to be sore on Saturday, so I knew I was in trouble a little bit. But Saturday night, in the middle of the night, I couldn't get out of bed. Okay? So I thought, boy, and tomorrow I talk about no, that was last week. You're right. That was last week. That's why the timing works. Okay. And I thought, and next week I have to talk about being unstoppable. In the middle of the night, I'm thinking, this is the one time I'm actually worried about whether I can crawl into that pulpit. And I would call Ronnie and say, could you take over for me? Except she's out of action. So the next morning I was a little better and I crawled into the pulpit. I had a back brace on last week. Nobody knows it under the suit. And things have gotten better since. But through the week, I realized this feeling of unstoppable, our personal self attaches itself to it. But in the end, the message that Spirit made clear to me is, you are unstoppable, but it's your soul that's unstoppable, not the personal self. Your soul is absolutely amazing. And yes, we need to feel unstoppable. We just need to know where we're connected to that feeling. You see, You're connected to all the power in the universe, or at least your soul is. This personnel self, not so much. Years ago, I did a breathwork session that helped to elevate me into a higher state of consciousness. And as I moved up into this higher state, I realized I felt this tremendous dominion of myself and my body. And I even realized my body would do things for me that it normally didn't do. And I did get up and move around at one point, and it was amazing. My body was fluid, it was perfect, it could do things that seemed almost impossible. And then I got back on the table and we took it up another notch. And I reached a point where now we're not talking dominion of personal self. We're talking about connected to divine power. And in that moment, I could see that as a soul, not as a personal being, as a soul, I was connected to all the power in the universe. In that moment, I knew if I told the mountain to move, it would move. And the little voice from personal self said, "I think you ought to move a mountain so when you get out, you can prove it." And something within me said, From this space, this power belongs to God, and I only move the mountain if the mountain needs to be moved. Don't do it for personal aggrandizement. When you're in that space, you're in higher self. You're in soul. And as I looked around, it seems like I had this clear vision that not just me, but everyone, every single one of us on a soul level is connected to divine power. But the soul serves God, not itself. And if you know that, amazing power flows through you. Well, let's hit it from the other side. You got to understand that you are a soul and you are a personal self. And unfortunately, they sometimes have slightly different agendas, right? You know, the soul's responsibility is not to continue to provide this child with everything it wants. It will take care of you. But you're not running the show. All children think they're running the show. When we align ourselves, this child that this outer being is, aligns ourselves with that magnificent spiritual being within us that we call our soul, literally amazing things start to happen. If you feel separated from your soul, you're on your own. But when you begin to aspire to serve the soul, to serve the higher self within you, to merge with soul agenda, it's as if the two agendas merge. And good things begin to happen even in your life because you are a part of this. Now let's go the other way. Remember I said there's times when you feel like you're unstoppable, and then there's times when you truly feel beat up by life. And that's what I want to talk about now. Because when you feel beat up by life, it's a vicious cycle. The more beat up you feel and the more you dwell in this "I'm beat up by life," the more life seems to keep beating you up. Okay? It just drags you lower and lower. So, my point is this. If you can align this personal identity, this personal self that feels so beat up, if you can begin to remember, I am more than this. I am that soul that lives inside of me. Literally, the way the universe, the way the world responds to you will change for the better. So when we are feeling beaten down by life, that's when it's most important for us to reach out to that unstoppableness of your soul. You are a soul, and nothing can stop that spiritual being that is inside of you. I want you to understand how magnificent your soul is. No matter how humble your personal self feels, oh, I've lived a terrible life. Nothing goes right for me. Da-da-da-da-da-da. Therefore, I couldn't have a powerful soul. That couldn't be more wrong. I don't care how humble your outer self is. That spiritual being inside of you at the center of your being that is the child of God. That child of God inside of you is amazingly powerful, beautiful, wise, loving, accepting. That being is so far beyond what you feel when you feel beaten down that it's ridiculous. In another spiritual experience of mine, I did have the privilege of coming face to face with my soul, and I got to tell you, it's devastating. Because you realize how unimportant this outer self is when standing beside the magnificence that is inside of you. And since then, I've understood I don't really need to defend this self. This self's got all kinds of flaws. This self's pretty messed up. But then so's everybody in this self. But what's inside of me, I will never make any apologies for. It is powerful beyond belief. It has a spiritual work I can only begin to imagine. And that's what's inside of you too. That soul inside of you is absolutely magnificent. That is the child of God, and rightfully called that. And it's inside of you. And it's totally awe-inspiring if you can even reach out to it just a little to feel higher self, spiritual self, the part of you that's eternal, that's never going to die. It's inside of you. And if you can touch that in any way, it'll change your life. When we glory in the beauty and the power of our soul, when we strive to merge agendas and say, I want to serve the higher self, not just this outer world, but through what I think and do, I want to serve that within me which is grand, the grandeur within me. Well, it lifts you out of the burdens of this world. It literally can. Any energy you extend towards merging with your soul will alter the way the world responds to you. And if you're feeling beaten down, you need that altered. And touching your soul will do that. Dwelling on being beaten down will just take you lower and lower in a vicious cycle. In John 17:15 through 16, this is Jesus praying for his disciples. He says, Father, what I request is not that thou shouldst take them out of the world, but that thou shouldst protect them from evil. For they, and here's the key, for they are not of the world, just as I am not of the world. You need to remember, I am in this world, not of it. I am in this world, not of it. This world doesn't own me. And this experience is not all I got. I am in this world, but I am a spiritual being, an eternal spiritual being who's come in for this earth experience, temporary as it is. In 1 John 4:4, John writes, He who is in you is greater than he who is in the world. And you need to remember your soul is greater than anything the world can throw at you. And the world can throw a lot. We learned that. But that which is in me is greater than anything the world can throw at me. And of course, in Matthew 17:20, Jesus said, If there is faith in you, even as a grain of mustard seed, you will say to this mountain, move away from here, and it will move away, and nothing will prevail over you. Nothing would prevail over you. We get all hung up on moving mountains. We don't realize this is really talking about faith. Now, in Unity, we define faith as the perceiving power of the mind. What we mean is it's the part of you that can see or perceive spiritual reality. If you can perceive the spiritual reality, you have dominion. Can you perceive the spiritual reality of yourself? Because the part of you that can move the mountain is not the part that is out there begging for toys. It's the part of you that is grand, that is majestic, that is powerful beyond belief. If you can see your soul, that's what faith will do for you. If you can see, perceive, feel just a little bit of the magnificence inside of you, and if you have the desire to align with this, to surrender yourself to higher self, well then, it has dominion. This is the part of you that could say to the mountain, move, and it'll move. Because this physical world is not top dog. It's way down the scale. It's just our personal self. We feel vulnerable to it. But there is a part of you that is not vulnerable. And it's in your soul. So I want to talk about 4 ways to awaken to the unstoppableness of your soul. The first one is define yourself by the strength of your spirit, not the frailties of your body or the frailties of your personal self. We as humans like to define ourselves by our flaws. I have a short fuse. I get angry easily. That's just me. Get used to it. Yeah, okay, claim it. Go for it. Grab all you want there. You aren't going to get very far. Define yourself by the strength of your spirit. That which is in me is greater than that which is in the world. You might want to affirm, I am soul and I am unstoppable until you break through to something. Those are just words until you can feel something within yourself. But repeat it over and over, and then just spend time contemplating the magnificence of that spirit that resides within you, that was before you came into this world and will be long after you leave it, after your body falls away. That being is magnificent. And just contemplating that can begin to align you in such a way as to pull you out of being stuck in the mud. Unity has a prayer called the prayer of faith that in the end we use to touch higher reality, because it's all about seeing higher reality. It goes, God is my help in every need. God does my every hunger feed. God walks beside me, guides my way through every moment of this day. Okay? It sees God present and with me, moving with me, moving through me. And then it moves on. I now am wise. I now am true, patient, kind, and loving too. All things I am, can do and be, through Christ the truth that is in me. And now we're seeing that light, that child of God that is inside of us. And we are claiming that as our identity. And when we do, the third verse, God is my health. I can't be sick. Let's stop for a second. Because most of us are sure we can. Your spiritual self cannot be sick. And the more you tune into that, the more it reflects into your outer life. God is my strength, unfailing quick. When I, the personal self, am not strong enough, there is a strength that flows through me that is beyond me. God is my all. I am immersed in God, and I know no fear. God is my all. I know no fear. Since God and love and truth are here, since I am immersed in God, I know that all is well, no matter the appearance. I am immersed in God. That can only be seen with faith, with spiritual eyes, for those who have eyes to see and ears to hear, as Jesus referred to so many times. So, number one, define yourself by the strength of your spirit, not the frailness of your body or your personal self. That leads us to number two. When life knocks you down, and that's going to happen to the best of us. Life eventually is going to knock you down. No matter what the world throws at you, realize no matter what the world throws at me, the spiritual being that I am is unstoppable. Then get back up and find a way through whatever you face. Because there is a way through. Your spirit is unstoppable. How many of you saw the first Jurassic Park movie, right? Remember, who's the tall, dark-haired, lanky guy? Jeff Goldberg. Yeah, okay. I'm not good on names. He plays the scientist who's saying, you guys say you're restricting them because you made them all female. They aren't going to be able to breed. I say life will find a way. And of course, that's the theme throughout the whole thing. Life will find a way. Well, when life knocks you down, realize the soul within me will find a way. The divine life in me will find a way. All I have to do is get back up and maybe go the same way and maybe find a new direction. But there'll be a way through this. All I have to do is keep moving. All I've got to do is not let myself get bogged down in the mud. So each day, maybe you want to affirm, that which is in me is greater than that which is in the world. We're now quoting scripture, but I think it's good as an affirmation. That which is in me is greater than that which is in the world. When you face hard stuff in the world, that's what you need to be declaring over and over until you can feel the truth of that. Connect with your soul. Remember its magnificence. And then say to yourself, I put my soul in charge of this situation. And go forward. There isn't a time I've gone into the pulpit in almost 50 years now that before I haven't said, move through me. I need more than me up there. Spirit, move through me. Soul, take over. God, use me. That's the attitude that opens things up and lets you move back into being unstoppable. Each day, well, let's see, wait a second, here we are. Let's go to number 3. The first one is when you knock down, get knocked down. Number 1 is define yourself by the strength of your spirit. The second is when you get knocked down, no matter what the world throws at you, realize the spirit inside of me is unstoppable. And get back up and find your way through it. Number 3, every day as a spiritual practice, take dominion of your life. Take dominion of your life. So many times we're quite sure everyone else has control of our lives, and certainly the world does. But the spirit within you has dominion. And that's what you're trying to anchor yourself to when you get up in the morning. Stratton Smith in the 4T Prosperity Program had one section where he talks about a practice for entering into demonstrating abundance in your life. And he said that while he was driving he was in California, and he was driving across the desert to this class that he was doing. And he'd go through this area that was pretty much nobody was out there. And he said, when I would go through, I would say, I take dominion of all of this. You go, okay, well, those are visions of grandeur. Yeah, they are. But the soul within you has that grandeur. There is a feeling. When I'm first going through this thing and I'm going, come on, Stretton, what are you talking about here? You don't own title to this property. No, you have dominion of it. And I went, I don't know. But there is a feeling to dominion. I have dominion of my life. I have dominion of this world that I walk through, spiritual dominion. And if you can awaken that feeling, it only belongs to your soul. I agree, your personal self has no dominion over anything. And that's where we're playing most of the time. But each day, rise into your soul. Before you start your day, rise into that magnificence within. Try to feel it and take dominion of your life. Take dominion of your personal self. Higher self, taking dominion of Bob or whoever you happen to be. Take dominion of your body. I have dominion of this body. So often the body seems to run our lives. You have dominion of the body. And I have dominion of my life in this world. There is a high space you can enter in where you can feel that. And that's the background upon which you want to then go out into your life and live it. Each day declare, I am soul, I am a child of God, and as such I have dominion of this life that I live. Want to say that with me? I am soul, I am a child of God, and as such I have dominion of this life that I live. And the fourth is real straightforward. We've kind of been talking about it from the beginning. Each day remember, my soul is unstoppable. I am much more than this body and this life. And death holds no power over me. If you're going to be unstoppable, you need to know you're not going to die. Is your body going to fall away? Yeah, and personally, I'm going to say thank God when that finally happens. But I am never going to die, and neither are you. You have the light of life inside of you. And the light of life never dies. It's eternal. Your soul was before you came into this life and will be long after you leave it. It is inside of you right now. As a soul, you never die. You move on to something greater, out of this experience into a new one. You have to realize that part of being, or at least tuning in to the unstoppableness of your soul, is to realize that death holds no power over you. If you know that, you can lead a powerful life right now. This was tapped into in the Native American theme that so went down. Warriors, before they went into battle, would say, this is a good day to die. We need to take fear of death off the table. Because if you're not afraid of dying, you are a powerful force to be dealt with in life. Death's a doorway, not an ending. It's the reward for having finished this experience. not a punishment. It's the reward. And if you take dominion of death, you can live more fully each moment of your life. You are a spiritual being. Keep reminding yourself, I am so much more than this. And my life encompasses so much more than this. I am a spiritual being. And that's what Jesus meant when he said, those who follow me will never know death. If you can touch your soul, you move right through. You're not connected to the part that falls away. You're connected to the part that lives forever. So, you are unstoppable. Your personal self and your body seem extremely vulnerable to this world. But your soul is unstoppable. And if we strive to merge our soul with who I am living as in this life, if we say, I want to serve my soul, and we reach out toward that, the energy that you put into that lifts you. And the universe relates to you in a very different way. When you're knocked down and feeling like you've been beaten, that's when you need most to know that which is in me is literally unstoppable. I am so much more than this. So let's close our eyes. And start by affirming, I am soul and I am unstoppable. Together. I am soul and I am unstoppable. In a state of peace, we feel the outer being falling away for a moment, so that we can feel the inner majesty. We reach within to the center of our being. And there at the center we find a peace that is still there even in the midst of turmoil. A strength that moves through me even when my outer life expresses weakness. A wisdom that knows, even when the outer self is being foolish. And a heart that loves. And loves fully, even when the outer being feels so hurt. I am so much more than this human being. And as I grasp the majesty of what lies deep within me, I, the outer self, surrender to the soul within me. I say, may I serve you. I just want to be a small part of your majesty. Soul within, Christ Spirit within me. Take command of my life and lead me where I need to go. Open the doors that lead me where you want me to go. Fill my mouth with words that need to be spoken. And move through my actions, my life, so that this world is a better place because I have walked through it. I know it is not I, but the Spirit within that does the work that counts in this life. Soul, take charge of this self. Soul, take charge of this body and this life, that all may serve the highest within me. I am an eternal spiritual being, temporarily living in this world and through this body. I am in this world, not of it. I am an eternal child of God. And I walk through this life connected to that eternal soul within me. Eventually I realized that magnificence of the soul is ultimately who I am. Father, give me the strength to walk through this life, remembering who I am. Thank you, God. Amen. If the usher will come forward, we'll prepare for our offering. For those of you at home, you know the drill. At the end of service, you go to the main page, the home page of Unity Orlando. Hit one of the Donate Now buttons, and you can use a credit card or PayPal. You can pull off our physical address and mail us a check, or you can call the office and arrange for regular offerings. We're still here because you've been doing that, and we are deeply grateful. Everyone, those of you who are here in person, and those of you with us at home, let's affirm together. Divine love through me blesses and multiplies all the good I am and have, all the good I give and receive. Thank you, God. Amen.
Where am I going? How will I get there? I let Spirit carry me there. I let Spirit carry me there. Where am I going? How will I get there? I let Spirit carry me there. I let Spirit carry me there. A song is working its way through me. I can hear the melody. All the notes are right in front of me. I can hear it loud and clear. Then I hear a choir of angels whispering in my ear, singing out hope and wonderness, leaves me wondering. Where am I going? How will I get there? I let Spirit carry me there. I let Spirit carry me there. Where am I going? How will I get there? I let Spirit carry me there. I let Spirit carry me there. It's gonna take faith. It's gonna take courage. It's gonna take trust. It's gonna take love and humankind. I let Spirit carry me there. 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 We are there. I am here.
And we are definitely blessed to have each and every one of you who make our service very special. One more time, let's give them a round of applause. Okay, I've got some notes here that tell me how to finish, or else we'll have to stay here for the next hour. Okay, be safe, but live your life courageously. Those two can work together, you know. Thanks for supporting Unity of Orlando. Thanks for being part of us. You're the church. That's what a church is. It's not a building. It's the people. Next Sunday, I will be speaking on You Are Misled. I think that requires an explanation, so you're clear on what I'm talking about. We're going to be understanding higher reality. Okay. Let's all rise and close with the prayer of protection. To all the world, together, the light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. And the presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. God bless you all. Have a wonderful